Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the weekly Motovlog, and as I've said, we're going to try to keep myself accountable for the projects I got done around the house as I'm trying to clean my life back up. So, what projects have been gotten done around the house? Really, not much. We got the TV hung. We got some shelving put up in the bathroom, moved some things around, cleaned off my dresser. Sadly, that is all I was able to get done. Had an off week. I was kind of sick, if I'm honest. Not feeling the best in the world. So, I basically got done with work, came straight home, and went to bed. Made some dinner and went to bed. So, nowhere near as much got done as I wanted to get done. Today, as soon as I get home, we're going to start on getting the engine out of my 06 Ford Focus. So, whoop, almost fell over right there. Short legs, tall bike. We're on the KLR, and we're back to old school with the camera mount set up. But yeah, we're going to get that going. And, you know, some people are probably asking why. Why are you doing this? Why not go get another car? I don't want a payment. You know, just to be the end of all of it, I just don't want to deal with the payment on the vehicle. I did the math. If I was to go buy another vehicle, so I did it on a Corolla hybrid, and I was looking used. I found like a couple-year-old Corolla hybrids for, you know, had 30,000 miles on them for 20 grand. I drive 78,000 miles a year, so in 3 years I'd have 300,000 miles on the Corolla. So I said, okay, so we do a loan length of that. 0% interest, just 20K divided by 36 was $555.55 repeating. So as long as I'm spending less than $500 a month to repair my work car, I'm coming out ahead. You know, that doesn't include insurance on the newer car. That doesn't include parts being more expensive on the newer car, because once you get above about 170,000 miles, I'm going to have to start doing maintenance on the vehicle, wheel bearings, timing belts, all of those things. If the battery in the hybrid goes bad, you know, if the hybrid battery goes bad, then that's a whole nother kettle of fish that I got to deal with. You know, just a whole nother kettle of fish. More expensive, more complicated system, etc. So that's why I'm just putting a new engine in my Focus. It's also why I don't just give up and drive my Infinity. You know, if something goes wrong with the Infinity, that's an expensive repair. Much more expensive than the Focus. The timing chain in the Infinity by itself, just for the parts, cost me more than what I bought the whole used engine for out of my Focus. But yes, I need a backup vehicle for work because I don't want to drive the Infinity more. There's 210,000 miles on my Infinity now because I've had to use it for work so many times. So I am going to pick up Tuesday a 93 Geo Prism. And we will talk more about that as I'm going down there to pick it up, as I get the vehicle, as I'm driving it back, and things that I'm going to do to get the Prism ready to run for work as a backup vehicle. You know, it's something I got to do. It's not something I wanted to do. I would much rather not have done it. I would rather put money in other vehicles, in my house, but, you know, I don't make a living doing these videos. I make a living from running drugs as a pharmaceutical carrier. It is what I do. And, you know, it's not always fun. I don't really enjoy my job. You know, I'll say it. My job's not a bad job, but it gives me no fulfillment, no enjoyment. I do it because it pays well. As a matter of fact, as soon as I can get to a situation where I don't have to do it, I'm done with it. I'll put my 2 weeks in and I'll move on to something else. You know, that's... If this channel ever turns into one of those channels where I can make actual money off of it, that's what's going to happen. Y'all are going to be going with me on adventures. That's why, you know, I talk about adventures so much. That's the whole reason, you know, I say life is an adventure. You got to get out there and live it. I'm not one of those people where I'm going to be like, oh, I'll never have this and never have that. I don't do that. If I really want it, I'll figure it out, and I believe most people are that way. You know, and so, but when you work 10 hours a day, like y'all see, I don't have much time for editing. You get raw videos. I wish I could edit. I wish I could go out and do cool trips. I wish I could do all those things. Right now I just can't. I got a lot of family stuff, so when I do have free enough time that would be and go do a 3 or 4 day trip, I'm going home to Florida to spend it with my mom and dad and my little brothers and try to be present for what's going on. And no, I'm not going to get into what's going on. It's very personal for somebody, and you know, I'm trying to straddle the line between being supportive and not cold-hearted, but also not, you know, God, I'm tired, guys. I'm not sleeping well right now. So simple words are escaping me, and I feel dumb when I'm like this. I'm so tired, I feel dumb. Without being a enabler, there you go. You know, it's trying to keep compassionate when you're frustrated. You know, I'm always upbeat. I usually get on here and talk about life and talking about making things work and having that upbeat attitude and keep going. Last year was a rough year. This year's not shaping up to be any better. You know, I don't know. You know, it is what it is. I can have a pity party about it, or I can keep moving forward, and the only thing I know how to do is move forward. I have the things that I have, not because I'm smarter than everybody. I have the things that I have, not because I'm bigger or stronger than everybody. I have the things that I have because I'm more stubborn. I just didn't give up. I just kept right on working, kept right on going, kept pushing all of those things forward. And, you know, yeah, it'd be super easy to give up. It'd be so easy to just quit, give up, you know, scrap the cars that I have, scrap the bikes that I have, pick one of each to keep, and, you know, quit. I've never been able to do that. I've never been a person that's been able to just quit. You know, even anything in my life, I can't just give up. And when I do give up on something, I usually regret it. You know, and that includes old vehicles that a million people tell me to get rid of. You know, I finally get rid of them, and then for the next year, I'll regret not having that vehicle. I'll regret not keeping it, not working on it, and not finishing, not seeing it through to the end. You know, even though my end was, it's not worth it anymore to me. You know, let's move this on to somebody else that gets a whole bunch of parts, and then they just have to put time into it. But when I add the time and the money to it, it's not worth it. Especially when you don't have time. Again, I'm working 10-hour days. I'm gone from the house 12 hours. You know, today's a good example. I had to get up, and instead of going straight to working on the car, I've been running errands all day. I've been trying to get grocery shopping done, food for the critters bought, all of these things taken care of that need to be taken care of. And know, I don't even know what time it is. It's afternoon. We're probably coming up on 1 o'clock. So if I can, at this point, just get the Focus to my buddy's shop, get it up in the air, and start doing stuff on it, I'll call that a win today. It's not even about getting the engine out now. It's just about getting it there and getting started on it. And if I sound beat up and worn down and tired and not my usual self, like I said, I am. I'm exhausted. You know, I work, like I said, I'm gone from the house 12 hours. I'm so tired, I just want to be home, but when I go home, there is no one at the house. It's empty, you know? So, like, and then I don't want to be home because there's no one there. And I don't want to go out because I don't really want to be around people. So I'm just kind of in this weird spot. And it's just a funk. As long as I keep pushing and moving forward, we'll get past it. We'll make it work. I always do. You know? Again, I'm not a person that's a pity party. You know? I'm not looking for that. I'm looking to keep going. I keep looking towards the future and trying to make my plans work, because that's what I got to do. You know, my big things this year was stay on working out a little better. You know, for those that don't know, I've lost 90 pounds. I went from 280 to 190. So we're going to try to keep on that trend. Try to shed down to 160 if I can. I want to get out and do more stuff. I want to get out and just have a better time. I want to go camping some more this year. I want to go fishing some this year. I want to play with the RC cars some this year. You know, I want to get out and do the things that I really enjoy doing instead of just straight working on the house all the time. Because that's basically what I do right now, is just work on the house and work on projects. That's why you guys are getting video game stuff. You know what part of it is? It's just the fall funk, or the winter funk. You know, it's when you're an outdoorsy person like I am, you know, now I just noticed I'm saying that a lot, and that's going to bother me. When you're an outdoorsy person like I am, this time of year just kind of blaws you. You know, we got a really bad cold front coming in. It's going to drop into the 20s tonight. So this time of year just leaves me feeling, it's cold. It's not really fun to go out and fish. It's not really fun to do much of anything, and I should be working on the house anyway. So, you know, this is where I'm at. So I think I'm going to name this episode that too. I think I'm going to name it, you know, this is where I'm at. Because I keep saying it. Ooh. Hey, working. Got a tree cut down. I still got a tree to clean up. There's a ton of work to do. I got all the work. No end in sight. But I'm going to try to keep going. I'm going to try to keep myself accountable. Doing little things as I get home from work to get the house caught up and cleaned up. I do still need to buy a shed so I can move tools out, because the house has so many hobby stuff in it. So I'd like to have that done before. I'm going to try to do some of that stuff while it's cold out. I'm trying to do stuff that I can do inside and take care of while it's cold out, so that when spring does come and it's time to go camping, we can hit it. I'm going to do camping trips on the KLR for the foreseeable future until I can get the Hummer going again, and then we'll do some camping trips on the Hummer. I think I may even try building a camp trailer. I found an old mountain bike like 3 years ago in the trash and drug it home, and then decided it wasn't worth fixing. and it's just been sitting in my scrap pile. So I may dig that thing out and get the grinder out and cut and weld and make a trailer that can carry some camp gear, and then we can really go camping on the KLR. So I think we're going to do that project. That'll probably be more of a spring project. I still have the off-road camper I would like to build, but yep. Again, guys, I can't say how important it is to just keep trying to move forward. Even if it's the smallest of steps forward, you know, just those small steps add up over time. So don't give up. Even if you're in a funk like I am, even if you're tired like I am, even if nothing's going right like you think it is, don't give up. You know, I do have to take a moment and think back and go, you know, you don't have all the cars in the front yard anymore. You got stuff cleared out on the back and put there. You got a garage built for the bikes that's working. The Ranger's back up and running. You know, the bikes are, you got the KLR back up and running. All these things, you're making progress. You know, you just got to keep going. So, but there it is. There's the Focus with 439,000 miles that quit on me. You quitter. But yep, here in a minute, we're going to load the Ranger up with stuff. I'm going to probably make something to eat, start loading the Ranger up with everything I'll need down there, get the Focus down there, and start getting this thing hammered out. I'm going to replace the door while I'm doing that too. Anyway, guys, I love y'all. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. You know, remember, life's an adventure. Get out there and live it. And just keep chugging. Keep working on those projects. Bye.